Hey everyone, it's me Sam again, and this is actually my second video in the past week, which is awesome because I don't know if you guys saw my previous video, but in that video I said I wanted to become more active again and put out new content. So I was actually approached by a clinician right before speech therapy this past Monday, and he's watched a few of my videos, and he actually has a son who is a 15-year-old son, and he's somebody who stutters, and he has been trying to encourage his son to start self-disclosing. And he said that he made a comment on my channel somewhere. I actually still haven't found a comment, but I'm very happy that he actually approached me. So anyway, he wanted me to make a video sharing my thoughts, my experiences, and my tips on how I've been self-disclosing. And for those of you who might not be a person who stutters, or even if you're a person who stutters and you don't know what self-disclosure is essentially just explicitly saying to a person or a group of people that you are a person who stutters. And it's typically just a short little statement. My own disclosure statement that I've used a few times is just something along the lines of, oh, by the way, I'm somebody who stutters, so if you notice me struggling with my speech a little bit, it's because of that, and it's not because of anything else. So it's pretty straightforward. It's a simple concept to understand, but what people might not realize is that the act of self-disclosure is a huge step in a person who stutters life. It's physically easy, but it's definitely emotionally hard, and it can cause you emotional pain if you aren't comfortable with self-disclosing, or if you do it incorrectly. So a lot of people might say at first as well, it's not a problem, or some people might say that self-disclosing, a problem with me self-disclosing isn't from my end. I'm afraid of what other people might think, and I don't want to put myself out there, and that's okay. But if I had to put my own 2 cents into it, it's just that you have to realize that people aren't in this world to make fun of you for your speech. Genuinely, people will not leave the conversation and tell their friends making fun of you or anything like that. So you just have to put faith in people, and I think that was the biggest challenge for me, especially, to be honest, is just making that leap and putting faith in people I don't know to trust that I'm somebody that's reliable and confident in myself. So I actually do have some tips, and I have tips for developing an actual statement, for saying a statement, and then choosing the correct time to say my statement. So first of all, when you make a statement, as you can kind of see from, or as you heard from my statement, you just want to make it short and simple. You just want to get to the point. You don't have to say your entire life story about stuttering. You don't have to give any extended stories as well. Just make it short, but the most important thing here is that you don't want to add anything that sounds apologetic or sounds like you're trying to get pity, because you don't have anything to apologize about. You're a person who stutters. You're not the only person who stutters in this world, and it's just something that's happened and you can't do anything about it. So you definitely just do not want to make it sound like an apology of some sorts. When you're actually saying it, kind of going along with not sounding apologetic, you want to be confident. I always try to smile, so you should definitely try to smile. Just be upbeat about it, be positive. You can chuckle if you want. Just in here, try not to be searching for self-pity, because we honestly do not need it. And then the biggest tips I have actually have to do with choosing the correct time to say it, if at all. And I'll kind of get into that later. But for me, I would definitely say never to force a self-disclosure, because like I said, if you do it incorrectly, it can yield negative consequences. And I'll give you guys a little story about an experience that I had actually. So last fall semester, I was in a class where at the first day of class we do our little standard introductions, but we did it a different way. And in this class we had to partner up with somebody near us, and we had to introduce the person next to, or we had to introduce our partner and not ourselves. So I partnered up with this guy that was sitting right next to me, and I talked to him for a while. I told him a little bit about myself. He told me a little bit about himself. And when it was our turn to present each other, I interrupted him before he started talking, or as he was about to talk, and I self-disclosed to the entire classroom. And I went through my whole statement, and he would think everything was good, it put me at ease, or he would think it would put me at ease. But I feel like it actually backfired on me, because I feel like I forced it. I didn't let it come naturally. So, I mean, it was nice. Like, I got a positive reception from my professor and my classmates, but it just felt awkward, and that's probably one of the worst times for me, for sure, where self-disclosing was actually not the right thing to do. and I'm not saying that it wasn't appropriate to do in a classroom setting, because I've also self-disclosed in other classes for class introductions, and it was perfectly fine. But in this case, probably not the best timing. And kind of going along with timing, you have to know that you don't always have to say it. You don't always have to do it. I mean, there are a lot of times where I'm in a conversation with somebody new, and I think the conversation is going along just okay. I may have stuttered a couple of times, but honestly, people might not even notice. And I think it would be inappropriate to kind of break the flow of the conversation to just insert a random statement about self-disclosure. So, this may sound cliche, but use it when you feel it's right to use it. Typically, when I use it, it's at the start of a conversation, before I start speaking with this person for an extended period of time. But other times, I will start off the conversation like a normal conversation, and then if I notice myself struggling, if I notice myself struggling extra hard in an instance, then I'll go ahead and I'll kind of say that it's because I'm a person who stutters. And it actually puts you at ease, but it also puts the other person at ease, because now they know that you aren't struggling with something, that you aren't having a stroke or something, that it's just because you're a person who stutters. And most importantly, if done correctly, it shows the other person that you're perfectly confident and that you're still a good communicator. And typically that also lets them know that they should be patient with you when you speak. So to sum up my suggestions for self-disclosing: have a short statement, do not sound apologetic, be confident, and know the right time and instances to self-disclose. So I hope this helped all of you guys out there who might have thought about self-disclosing but haven't really found a way to start, or if you just didn't even know about self-disclosure in the first place. So this is Sam. I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to comment if you want to, and subscribe if you want to. Thanks.